So let's learn how Photoshop works, which is an amazing tool to add. It's not for beginners so much. I don't think you need it for beginning, but I will teach you anyway a little bit how it works so you can even add more value to your customers. Because if you know how to do it, you can make your photos better. And if clients ask you, hey, can you do this? Can you remove this? Can you do stuff? It's a really important photo. I know it's annoying, but sometimes they ask. It just provides more value. So you can get better clients, and the more skills you have, the better clients you get. So Photoshop. What we can do is two ways. We can or click here and open in Photoshop, and then it will open the raw photo. It will transform it into a more readable file, but still large, even larger than this actually. And it will move it to Photoshop. And then when you save it, it will go back to Lightroom as a saved Photoshop file. So this is a good integration. If you don't want that, and if you want a lighter, lighter way, then you can just export it web or high quality, and then just drag a photo to Photoshop like here, right? But we're gonna go in the other method, and it is gonna be heavy. So this photo is maybe 40 megabytes, and now it's gonna be, once I save, it's gonna be like 2 gigabytes or something. So it really sucks. Like, you cannot do it on too much photos. What we want to do is we want to remove this here. So what we can do is the same tool that we have in Lightroom. I press, well, you can just press like this, but I pressed the, I don't know how I call it, but near the enter button, under the plus. Anyway, so anywhere I press, it just removes things. Like, anything I do is reversible only if I do Command Z, which is like going back. We don't want that, so we can just duplicate this layer, right? And then everything we do, we always can go back to the original. And then once we have the stamp, we can just remove it. It didn't do a good job, so luckily now we have AI, so we can just do this selection, so it will select what we want. So we want this, like this. And for example, we can add this by just clicking Shift, and then we add this part, okay? And then content aware fill. Oh, this is actually not the AI version yet. It will get there. So now you, like, usually you can just like click replace this part. Now it does it differently. Less good, but you can still do like this, do like this. Right, we can do all those things. Here, this is better. Beautiful. Okay, it's good now. And now just Command S, like save it, or here, save, and it will go back to Lightroom, you'll see. But if we are in Photoshop, we can do even more crazy stuff. For example, we can blur this guy that we don't want, for example, okay? So we will go, and this is selecting. You can also select the subject, like this. We need to select what we did. So I'll select him. No. Select. Let's see how good it does. It does pretty okay. Now I can just blur him. So I can go into filter. You see, you need to know where everything is. It takes a lot of time. It's not easy, but the more you practice, the better it goes. Which is the worst thing about like Photoshop. That's why it takes time, because things are hidden. And oh, what does it do now? Okay, cool. So now we can actually duplicate this one and then make the whole thing blurry, right? Put it on top and all the way to on top. This part is like only for the microphone that we removed, right? So we can put it underneath, and then we can just have this thing, which is the most important thing in Photoshop. You click on it, and then you have this white thing, and then white means it's working, and if you paint it in black, it means it's not working. So now if I will invert this, how do I invert it? Okay, usually I just invert it with Command I, another shortcut that is hard to remember. Now there is a way to actually select invert. Oh wow, I didn't do it for a long time. But anyway, if we can also invert it just by painting, right? So we paint in black. This is just a color that we can use like easily. So if you paint anything black, it will bring it back to the original. And we need to make sure everything is on 100. So it brings everything back to original. Okay? So we want everything to be black. Everything is black. Oh. Now everything is black. So now we can paint a little bit like this. Beautiful. Make everything blurry. We can make him blurry more. Like this. We can make this blurry. We can make him also a little bit more blurry. Great. You see? Oops. So you need to click here, otherwise it paints black. And it's not completely black. So now I need to paint white on here. And then black. Okay, you get it, right? You get how it works. Beautiful. So we made this photo from this. If I click option, this is the problem about Photoshop. It's too much shortcuts and it's too much things to remember. The more you use it, the easier it gets. But yeah, you have a lot of tools here. You don't need to learn everything. It's just like once you need something, you want to learn it, and then you add it to your memory, and then you use it more, and then like that, right? So you got a bunch of tools here, like you can add contrast, curve tones, levels, which is contrast, colors, right? You can add many things. For example, if I want to make it black and white, but we don't really want to know that because we can do it also in Photoshop. In Lightroom, I mean. Yeah, so we'll speak more into Photoshop later. Let me know exactly what you guys want to know. But Photoshop, yeah, it's nice to know, but it's I don't think it will give you fast dopamine in the beginning. So we'll end it up like this. Command S or save, and it will save it right here, as you see. See? Original file. And then once you edit it in Photoshop, then you don't have anymore the editing because you already edited it here. So this is the editing part, like the color grading, and this is the Photoshop. So yeah, not so helpful right now. We'll get into it later when we'll make it more helpful. Now, my assignment for you now is just to send me some photos that you took and send me some before and after of your edits. I might give you some feedback on them. Just share with me what you did. Yeah. See you in the next video. See you in the next chapter.